very small writing.
Sorry, just bear with me one sec.
Sorry, there's a member of the public that there's no meeting ID on our website. They can't connect. Yeah. Have you got a meeting ID?
Yeah, if you.
We did ask some contractors.
Thank you.
Are they going to this then?
I would have thought so.
Okay, thank you. We'll stop. You carry on, Tony, and we'll
Yeah, I've read it, very small writing, but hard to read. It's a draft, which I understand. And am I correct in saying the ones you got a red line with lines under is what you was to add, and the ones with line red through red?
Yeah, that's effectively it. Yeah.
Right, fine. So I'll look forward to the full version when it's through in the end of the year. Only one question: banking payments. You say the process is resolved to the bank with a co-op bank. Is that right?
Yeah, we both with
Or
with
have
the
we
co-op.
got another bank.
We also bank with
So
the
CCLA.
hey.
CCLA, is it?
Yeah, they're not a bank. They're in the CCLA, or where we hold our investments.
Right. So we don't mention. Do we mention the investments, or have I missed it?
It should be in here.
Okay, I missed it then. All right.
It does talk about moving. It is.
Moving money around, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Any other questions? Was somebody else raising their hands? Yeah. Done. And then Joe, sorry.
But you'd like us to report back by the date Friday the 7th of March with our observations, correct?
Yeah, if possible. Yeah. Just means then, if necessary, I can send it out with those corrections. Two members as a draft number 22 or whatever number.
Got it.
Yeah, that news guidance.
On one side, and we've had a discussion about self-paying for firms, and the plaza. So is it right for the clerk to be deputy RFO if they haven't got self?
No requirements of self to be an RFO.
Is it not?
There's no requirement of the clerk either, but I'd appreciate it if my staffing details aren't discussed in public.
There's no names on there, it just says town clerk. But I'm just saying.
Got more than me.
Just a minute, everyone.
I just asked the question, nothing personal, asking the question, if you've got an RFO, how does that relate to the?
The RFO doesn't take a Selka, they take a
But then-
Filka.
But there's,
The RFO doesn't take a Selka, they take a Filka.
yes,
Separate qualification.
so how can someone deputise if they haven't got that qualification? It's all I'm asking.
Yes, they can.
I'm not, okay, and the other one, then, okay, thank you, that's great stuff. And then, so when we had the audit, from what I remember, we had, one of the issues that was raised was about a risk assessment, that we haven't got a risk management. Now this is particularly for finance, but we were supposed to look at a risk register by the end of this month or next month. So I wonder when that's coming, please. And will we have a special meeting to thrash out what risks if you think they are?
Risk,
Please.
There will not be a special meeting. We are meeting now, as pointed out at the last full council meeting. There will be a risk register that will be brought to the next meeting. It may well be partially finished, but the council will be looking at the one that they've used in the past. There is only a limited amount of time in which to do it. Council will get a chance to have a look at it. If you look in here, there is comments. They are in black. They're immovable. It talks about risk management and internal control. Both of those things are things that are statutory, but the documentation with regards to the internal audit is all being looked at.
Okay, so my only concern is that us as a group, not just the clerk and the deputy clerk and anybody else, are responsible for that risk assessment, risk register. And my understanding from the conversation was we'd all have an input to it at some meeting. So can we do it now?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
How do we have an input into a risk register?
Well, that's because the risk register is from all of us. I read it in the audit. It's our document, so we should be to it.
The management of the town council, which is myself and the other officers, for you to comment upon and to look at it from there, councillor. Ultimately, you wouldn't have a risk assessment in a school that suddenly goes to all governors. For them to make a comment upon it, they wouldn't be doing that. It is something that the officers put together. We will bring it to you in due course.
So according to that, I remember it was either end of March or end of April, we had to have it.
By the end of March.
So we'll get it and then we'll be able to add to it if we've got extras to put in.
It
Yeah.
will come to you by the end of March, by the next full
What,
council meeting.
completed or full draft for discussion?
I'm sure we'll all be able to comment.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Mark, sorry, Clark, please. Is it for?
It will be as a report exactly the same as this is,
For
councillor.
us to talk
It
about?
will be in a report exactly the same as this is.
So next meeting we'll get it. Thank you.
It will be in a report exactly the same as this is.
Any other, somebody else waiting on the, sorry, what I did on the financial regulation? No. There's nobody else waiting? Okay. So that's, we are where we are then, so you've got until the, did you say this 7?
7.
Then back. Yeah, so you want to,
No.
anything else on the financial regulation?
We need a proposal in secondary, just to make sure that everybody is aware.
But this is the draft then, yeah?
Yeah, well, you're resolving members submit. So in other words, we're actually acknowledging that members have to get back to me by the 7th, so that then I can ping it back out again. There's
Proposal for that one then? Yeah, thank you.
Propose it.
If you've got a second of that. Thank you. You show on.
yeah, you
Yeah.
got the jockey.
Thank you very much. So number 10 then, if we go to, warm and cool spaces report, please. I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit. This voice.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, as you know, we were lucky enough to get a small grant for warm spaces. Temperatures start to rise a little bit, aren't they? So I brought this to see whether you could all agree if we could start maybe next week for a trial of 6 weeks. And there's some options below for us to offer the warm spaces. Things like a fridge to keep milk in, whether you decide to have a TV license so we can offer TV for them. The cost is on the report. Whether we do a fire stick, Mark is suggesting maybe, sorry, Clark, maybe we have a sofa. So that cost is from the charity shop. I wonder whether we just do 6 weeks and see how it goes and feedback how it's gone. We've got a couple of homeless people in the village at the moment. Obviously, everybody would be welcome, but it's how we manage it. So I think if we go week by week, 6 weeks, we could see how it's received. Jigsaws, magazines, teas, coffees, we could offer that, and that warm space only initially.
Okay, and answer this first, I think, and then.
Okay, maybe we need to cool off on this one a little bit.
Okay.
The jokes.
The reality of it is, as we know, the cool space came on as an adjunct to our initial meeting of the environmental change working group, because we realised that there's a possibility that we could have extremely hot summers. But I've looked at it and it's more difficult than we think. The agenda raises several important points, both practical and philosophical. From a practical perspective, the proposal to designate the town hall as a cool space during extreme heat is logical. Practically, given the increasing unpredictability of the climate. However, the lack of air conditioning, this place isn't air conditioned, is it?
That's correct. No,
Okay.
it isn't.
It is a major obstacle. And perhaps if we have some windfall funds, perhaps that could be used towards that. Okay. It not only does that, but it will also produce comfort for the staff. There may well be grants available. Regarding the entertainment, okay,
Yeah.
this is where I may be going to cross swords. As a cool or a warm space, I see it as an emergency situation. We have to look at also safeguarding. Who's going to come here? Is it going to be a DOS house for the down and outs? We do have to have safeguarding issues in place, because let's imagine we have two homeless people and they're going to start fighting. I think the reality of it is, yes, it's going to produce a hub for social interaction. But the television fire stick is not going to increase social interaction at all, is it? This is not somebody's home. It's a working town council hall. It's got lots and lots of purposes, but the emergency situation that we might need is what I was thinking about, and nothing else.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
Amanda, were you there?
Yes,
Joe, sorry, Amanda, Amanda.
I was only going to say, I don't know if it's already been discussed, how do you let people know? Are you going to put it like on the town council website? Are there going to be posters like on the notice board, like in the main?
Yeah, we've got on our social media page on our web, and we'll do some posters, but we just trial it for 6 weeks, see how it goes. Newspapers, magazines.
Everyone.
No, sorry. I think it's a good idea, and I was just asking, are we going to put it on the notice board in the main part of the town centre? And are we going to put it on social media, maybe some posters in the library, and
Yes.
so that people are aware?
Thank you, Amanda. John, sorry, John, and then I've got Jill, and then Dean, sorry. John.
Have we allocated an area within the building that we think this is going to work? And if so, where is that? Here.
Here and potentially in the reception area as well, if people wanted a quieter space to be able to sit and perhaps just listen in to conversation and do various things. Yeah, it's there. Not only that, but in order to be able to make teas, coffees, and have a bit of refreshment, then that would be available in there for them as well.
I share Councillor Mayor's concerns in terms of the social interaction. I think, again, TV licenses, fire sticks, etc. It's not quite an emergency. You want them to be comfortable, but I think the interaction, we need to consider what it is we put in there, and maybe full town council send in their ideas to deputy.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I've got Jill. It was Jill, Dina, and then
Okay.
Jill.
I was going to say, brilliant idea, agree with it. If you remember last time we had a conversation like this, and we talked about air source heat pumps and whether we could take an action to look. Sorry, air source heat pumps, and whether we could cost that and see if we could probably get a grant for that, maybe, because they're giving grants all the time now for those sort of things. And that would almost also chill, if you remember. The conversation was, I think the concern was they don't chill, and I said, yes, they do. And so that, and I don't think that we'd want to see here, thank you, because I think we've got enough, it's full enough now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could we just note that councillor Easton's doing
Yes, of course.
I've got a list of them, sorry. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much.
Can that be a result then, please, to
Well, obviously, Jill, not
investigate-
from the budget for the 1,500 budget, but you mean
no,
generally.
can we, it's not to look at.
Members, please speak up.
Sorry.
Jim.
Last meeting, I mentioned about the air source heat pump and the fact that it could cool and warm, and asked if it could be researched how much, I mean, when time permits, obviously.
Yeah.
It's on the list of things to do sometime.
Yeah.
To look
Jill.
at whether we can have one, and because there's lots of grants around at the moment, and that would solve the chilling thing issue, because if we've got staff, we'll have staff in the office, and they might benefit from chilling as well in the summer if we get a hot one.
Thank you, Jill. Did you want to answer, Jill?
I was only going to say, of course, it's something we can look at.
Yeah.
It could be a good option, but if we just do it for 6 weeks now and we trial it, see what sort of feedback we get, how many people are coming in, newspaper, a magazine, a coffee, just at that right now, and then see, how the funds are, because it has got to last us now for the year. So we'll regroup and have a look, and if you think we could do it again, then we could look at the cooler option for the warmer, you never know, the warmer months we get. And regarding the hearing loop, they come in Friday. Good girl. Friday.
Coming Friday with the heating.
Friday.
Okay, I've got a list of people now. Gaynor was next.
Keep sometimes.
Gaynor, you were next.
Actually, John asked what I wanted to know.
where we're going to put them.
Right. Okay,
I mean, if we get half a dozen people, yeah, it's fine, what you suggest.
Yeah.
But if you get any more than that, you can do stuff around, yeah.
oh, there's a capacity for this room, no, you can put more than, is it 80 seated people?
Yeah,
I think 80 seated people is the maximum for this room, seated people, 80.
80.
80.
And Grady cups.
If we got 80, I'd be freaking.
Okay, then I've got Carol, please, next.
Right, I just wanted to say that if we're going to talk about the warm spaces, yeah, because I work in the charity shop as well, I should be able to get us a settee, games, jigsaws, that sort of stuff, books to help donate to you because Charmaine loves helping out, supporting the area. Okay.
That'd be fantastic. And
All right,
I'd really like to see us use used goods.
Yes.
Be lovely.
Good.
That'd
All
be
right.
fantastic, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Councillor.
Carol. We'll
Thank
go for
you.
that.
Well,
And
no
I've got
problem.
Rob
Thank you.
next, please.
I was just going to mention the quality hearing space on behalf of Jim.
Pardon? Speak up, please, Rob.
Can't hear you, Rob.
Lisa has answered the question, which is great because, I mean, when we talked originally about the refurbishment of this place, I raised that
Yeah.
and nothing was done about it.
And you've been in, I think, and thank you for that, Rob. You've been in to test.
I've been in to test it and it
Thank you for
doesn't
doing
work at all. There's
Yeah,
nothing,
yeah.
there's nothing happening now, so
Yeah.
it
Thank you
needs
for doing that.
it needs to be done. And just aside, I mean, the Amazon Fire Stick, just remember there are subscription charges involved for Netflix and Amazon. It's not just a one-off payment.
We'll lock that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got one we can find.
Yeah, me.
That was Rob. And then I've got Pete next, please.
Yeah, that might have been dealt with in the clerk's just quick remark he made then. But I was going to say, presumably our bid was an itemised bid. And if we don't buy things that we've itemised on the bid, does that create any difficulty? Or are we sending the money back or how we stand on that?
We got a year.
No, it wasn't itemised. We got the money for the year. It's £1,500 and it's to go towards our lighting, heating, everything within the building
Yeah.
here. So we can put some of that in
Yeah.
the pot, so to speak, and then just offer the warm space, the safe.
Right.
And just light refreshments and whatever we could do to that funding, but we've got to make it last,
Yeah, but
which is why I wonder we just do it in
Yeah.
blocks.
okay, but we've got a more free hand with
Yes.
what we call capital spending.
Yes,
as
yes,
opposed
yes.
to running costs.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you, Pete. Then I've got John next.
Just as an aside, we've got the grant, and given the situation with Together Works, are we trying to recreate something that they would be better able to perform?
What situation with Together with?
Well, they were struggling for cash. They got the 46 grand, as I understand it, to keep going so far. But we're
They've
going to
been
go.
granted more since. I don't know if
Oh,
you're.
no, well, I understand, but I haven't seen the figure what else about it. But I'm just considering that we're going to try and create some form of comfortable scenario here, and we're very untrained at it. You've got a business which is literally only 500 yards away that do it every day. And so is there not a potential possibility to, well, I'm not sure how much space they've got there, but
What to the chair?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
sorry, yeah. Yeah, they're better at doing it than we are. And it just maybe
Together.
Together Works.
Together work.
Okay, there's a warm space. There's currently 3 in Calvicott.
Mm.
There is one in Town Teams building. There is one in Castlepack School about to open.
Yeah.
I've had a comprehensive opening or thinking
I
about that. Oh, yeah, that was, but I don't know. The idea of warm spaces, when we've discussed it with county council officers, is that there are many as possible. As many as possible. So
Okay.
rather than we're not overtaking somebody else's territory,
No, I wasn't trying.
we're offering as many as possible. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I just think it might be.
Right, I've got Anthony next, please.
Okay, thank you. We're still not seeing it, I don't think, really.
See what?
The reality of it is we've not defined any parameters here, have we? Look, if it's cold, it's cold. But you can come in, the doors are open when the temperature drops to -5 degrees centigrade. You come in, the doors are open when the temperature goes above 35 degrees centigrade. Otherwise, this is not a doss house. This is a working, and secondly, who's going to manage it? I mean, we go to our members of staff and they're flat out as it stands. The last thing we want is 3 or 4 comfortable chairs there, an Amazon Fire Sticks and 6 DOSes sitting on the, of course there's got to be a place for these people, of course.
Anthony, I think the word document.
I think,
Yeah, let's bother out of action, please. Lesser people.
No,
Well, not less of it.
No.
That's less of it, sorry. Well, no.
Okay.
Those people anyway.
But you're the leader, yeah?
I'm sorry about my political young records.
Yeah.
But the people that we wouldn't want to sit by on a bus.
That's still.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Let's just. hold that one again.
People in hardship.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, next time of this to talk was me, and my question was, please, about the safeguarding policies. Because my biggest concern is staff being in here with anyone who's difficult or
Absolutely.
how we're going to manage the behaviour.
Absolutely.
I've done a bit of talking to other groups that have done it, and they basically telling me that their training is very basic. So I'm a bit concerned about how you will handle it if there's a issue.
Just
Desperate. Well, it's just to say.
Sorry, Wyndham, I might miss you off the
It's
list.
good to talk about it, but this is a private project. There's a limited amount of money that's gone out from Welsh Government to try this out and see what the way it's going to work out. In terms of the support, there are organisations, voluntary organisations already in Caldicot that may be able to help in that instance. But it is a pilot project. It's about people finding out the best way of addressing the issue. Surely to goodness, that it should be supported on that basis.
Well, we're all supportive, Wyndham. It's just, like I say, my concern was the safeguarding of staff in here, really. But Mike, do you want to talk us through the fact?
Yeah, can I just say, you will have recall I sent out something that was looking at the safeguarding of staff and how to protect them. One of the key things to remember, we do have a panic button here that the staff can press so that is available. But I totally get it. We need to look at it. The interesting thing is, having asked the question of other clerks about what they've had to do with safeguarding within their warm spaces, and this is not just in this area, this is in North Wales, it's in Essex, it's in Yorkshire. This is for people who are struggling because of the cost of living crisis. There could be mothers with young children wanting to come in just for a couple of hours so the kids are being entertained somewhere in the warm. They've got something to do with like-minded adults and so on. It is something to try. We don't know. But at the end of the day, it's not costing Caldicot residents any money. That's the thing to remember. This is £1,500. And John, you're right about Together Works. I have a feeling somewhere in the back of my head, something says they've been awarded £1,500 as well, or they've applied for 1,500. But I can't remember the exact on it. But I think they likewise have been given some funding for it.
Okay, I'm going on my list now. I've still got Jill.
So going back to what Anthony said, and the theme of risk assessment, please can you risk assess it? I seem to remember we had behaviours or something of people using the space, because it's not just a warm space, is anybody comes in here and might threaten you or intimidate you or put you in a corner, or any sort of any of us.
And we do have difficult residents come in.
Yes, so
it's not unusual.
About people, and there's a risk assessment somewhere, I'm sure I've seen it, about users of this space. I remember us looking at it
On the website?
Before COVID, I think.
Mhm.
And we were saying,
COVID.
I
think it's 2008.
about people coming in here and the effect and the
Thank
fire
you.
escapes and about the uses of the building and then the effect on the staff. So please can we find that in there and see if it applies now, and that also then relates to loan working.
Okay, there is a resolution at the end of this. We're asked to resolve. Should we give delegated authority to set up the warm and cool space on a basis that will allow members to take that passing area that is warm or cool when there are extreme weather condition. So we're resolving, do we give officers that delegated authority?
We have to do a risk assessment first.
If all the things in place first. Yeah? Okay, so do I have to then?
Yeah.
Second. And second, you speak, and a show of hands, please. Very much. Okay, Matt, read anything else for that?
Sorry, just after the trial, then you come back and let us know how it went on.
That's in the, yeah.
Yes,
6
Councillor, yeah.
weeks,
Yeah, if we could trial that and then we'll feedback and pros and cons and costs, obviously, how much of the grant we've got left.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're not giving that one.
Okay, so number 11 then is the authorizations report, which would normally come to our finance, sorry, Julie, to our finance meeting, but Wyndham, do you wanna?
Well, just you've already covered that.
Yeah, okay, you're all happy with that? Thank you. So number 12 then is date and time of next meeting, so the next full time council meeting is on Wednesday, the 26th. I'm asked to note that the extraordinary meeting is set for Thursday, 13th at 6:30. And there is a planning and resources meeting on the 11th of March at 6:00. John?
Reference the extraordinary meeting on Thursday, the 13th of March. I have a few questions. The original date was February the 25th. And from correspondence received from yourself, you met with the deputy chair and councillor Conniff to consult about the date.
No, the deputy and myself spoke to after your request to move it. We had advice from One Voice Wales that we were able to do that. That's when I sent out then the suggestion of the Thursday the 13th.
Our letter asked, or my correspondence asked, if you thought, not you personally, if we thought 10 AM on a workday would give access to full attendance. That's what we are.
Yeah, which is why we then went to the 13th.
But why was councillor Conniff involved in the consultation about changing the date and not a wider spread of councillors?
Wasn't involved in that.
Your letter clearly states that I met with the deputy chair and councillor Conniff. I can reread you the actual wording.
You mean about holding the meeting or the time for the meeting?
Your response was the date is changed after consultation with the deputy chair and councillor Conniff.
Right, reason being that councillor Conniff is our chair of finance and the finance meeting is now have to be cancelled in order to put that meeting forward. So that's why you just had the payment authorizations tonight, because we haven't been able to hold the finance meeting.
Okay, given that's the case, it wasn't a wider consultation with everybody in relation to their attendance for the extraordinary meeting. That is correct.
John, I was requesting that a Tuesday morning wasn't suitable, but we want a weekday. So I moved it. I suggest the Thursday, moving around what groups we have in this room. Yeah, and my availability as well as your own, right? I would suggest a Thursday evening because I said the suggestion of evening would be more better attended.
Okay, and
is that true?
You please repeat.
The letter of request suggested that an evening meeting would be better attended.
That is correct.
So then we suggested the evening of Thursday instead of a daytime. We made it 6:30 in the evening.
Yes. Now, but again, the consultation was between yourself, the deputy chair, and Wyndham Conniff, councillor Conniff, as per your
and One Voice
response. And one. But you didn't consider that the signatories to the letter would merit consultation about the change of date.
John, I have if I've had a request from 5 councillors to change a date, the first one being this, as you know, it was June, February, because of the day and the time. So then we choose a different day and a different time. As far as I'm concerned, I'm accommodating your request. Rather than actually ringing 5 councillors to find out your diaries, and then the remaining 10 councillors, how would I know everybody's availability?
Well, I don't think you'd have to ring everybody.
Well, how would I know?
Before that, an email would have done.
Well, how would I email everybody to ask your availabilities and then coordinate 15 people's calendar for the next month?
But our point being that we were reducing the probability of attendance for that extraordinary meeting. So
the first meeting was.
Moving on. Given that the date now is suggested for the 13th of March, and all signatories to the letter are unable to make that meeting.
Are you happy to share that with the whole council?
I've just shared it with the whole council.
Okay.
I believe you've received apologies from the 5 signatories to that letter. Does the council, full council, believe that it is of value to attend a meeting whereby the content from the 5 signatories would be worth it? Because it's like playing tennis with somebody not the other side.
Well, as you know, John, if you're happy to share this, we did request that the 5 signatories put in a report prior to that meeting, as you would with a full town council report, so you've all had a chance to read it in advance, yeah, and have questions ready. There's nothing to stop you still putting that report in, John. And whether there's 10 councillors, 15 or however many are here, everyone's opinion is important.
Absolutely, which is the very point
So
that we made in the first instance,
I
that
don't-
everybody's opinion is important, therefore the wider
I am
attendance.
telling
will be
you,
there.
I am telling you that if 10 councillors are able to attend, in fact, we only need 5, then there is no reason to stop that meeting.
Fine, I get that. So therefore, can I make a proposal
Mhm.
that full council vote on moving that Thursday, the 13th of March, to a different date?
You want that proposed now and decided now? I'm afraid that's not possible. And as you'll know, you and yourself, Jill and John, have to try and speak to One Voice Wales, both of you. They can only advise me and the clerk, and we've been advised that meeting can go ahead.
Sorry,
Want me to repeat that? As you know, John and Jill, when you try to contact One Voice Wales, they will tell you they will only advise myself or the clerk.
I know that.
Right.
I've known that for a long time.
You both know that now, obviously, and they have advised myself and the clerk that that meeting can go ahead.
Okay, so my proposal on for the full town council to review that date and agree a different date is still on the table.
As I said to you in the reply I sent to the 5 requests, I have had to alter 3 other meetings around that date. Those 3 other meetings now are set around that date. So you're not asking me to move 1 meeting, you're asking me to move 4. Okay?
I'm not asking you to move.
I would have to move another
Yeah.
3 meetings to accommodate
Yeah.
a change of meeting.
Yeah, yeah. With due respect, a proposal's been made. You are put forward a very strong argument against the proposal. But I think, you can make the proposal.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we need to ask for a seconder, and then we move into debate on the proposal, when each person can only speak once, of course.
Yeah,
Bob, do you want to make a comment?
before you do that. Whenever a meeting is called for this council, sometimes I have to make arrangements by putting something off in order that I can attend. Now,
I'm sorry.
hang on.
No, I'm not going on, but mention a point of order. A proposal's been made. If that proposal's in order, before we can debate it, we have to ask if there's a seconder. Once there's a seconder, Bob, then you can debate the proposal.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm sorry
Okay.
to be pedantic about it, but.
So, John, if you just repeat your proposal to the whole of council, please, and you can speak absolutely on it.
Certainly, my proposal is that the scheduled meeting, or the extraordinary meeting on the Thursday, the 13th of March, is cancelled and a new date to be put forward.
That will be the second cancellation.
We didn't cancel the first one.
Yes, you did.
cancelled
You
it.
requested we move the date.
You didn't cancel it. We
I
asked you
requested,
to look
I
at.
cancel that meeting and call another date. So this will be the second moving of that date. That's your proposal, yeah? Do I have a seconder for the proposal? Thank you, Rachel.
No.
Now we have a vote. Oh, sorry.
No,
Bob, maybe-
vote. One person each.
Once a meeting is called, whether it's extraordinary meeting or whether it's a regular council meeting or committee meeting, surely it's down to us to alter our arrangements in order that we can attend.
Well, I
I've
have to.
had to do it
Oh, yeah.
several times,
I'll be on holiday though.
you know.
I'm on holiday.
That's different.
You
Do we not interrupt the speaker, please?
know,
Bob,
people got to be prepared to put themselves out to serve this council. You know, if you're not prepared to put yourself out to serve this council, the exit is that way.
okay, thank you, Bob. Oh, okay. Is there any comments before we take that vote?
You don't come on.
Richard,
Just to reiterate, Bob, I already rearranged my working schedule to make the Tuesday meeting. Then that got cancelled. I know
did you request,
I'm in London.
did you request? the
No,
cancel?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't request it to be cancelled.
Well, things like that happen. I've had it happen to me. I've actually, when I was working, I actually travelled to Scotland. And when I arrived there, the person I went to see was actually on the sick. And had been on sick for a couple of weeks. The fact that my office wasn't informed meant that it was 2 days, plus travel to Scotland, plus a hotel overnight, which was wasted. But
I get your point.
these things happen.
Peter, did you want to make a comment?
I think we've all got query diaries and we find clashes in those diaries. And it's incumbent on us when we get the clash to ask ourselves, what's most important? I don't know what clashes other people have got. I don't know how important they think this issue is. I'm assuming they think it's extremely important. Yeah. And therefore they could make the choice. As the mayor puts out, she called a meeting. That meeting was considered inconvenient by various people, but another date was given. But you can only go so far. Every time you change a date, you create new problems. And, you know, we've just got a motion to change a date. We've not been given an alternative date. And it's going to cause, almost certainly, it will cause difficulty, maybe difficulty for a different group of people, but difficulty nevertheless. Therefore, I'm going to be voting against the proposal.
Okay, thank you. Jill, do you want to make one more comment in?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment, please. First of all, I'm on holiday, I'm sorry, can't come back, or and I understand, obviously, when P&R is second Tuesday, and I know when full-time council is the last Wednesday, and normally can predict, and I can work around when there's at the meetings and things, but this is a special meeting that's been called by people because they've got concerns and they'd like them to be
I
discussed.
told the meeting, Jill.
Oh, sorry,
At your request.
requested by 5 people, and the clerk has called it. So my concern is if the 5 people aren't there to have the conversation and to help resolve the issues, then there'll have to be another meeting called and that will call, and if the One Voice Wales person comes, sorry, I'm sorry, thank you. Then that person will have to be paid, and then another one will have to be called because the people who have got issues that they want resolving, please, cannot make it. I didn't.
So is it possible to put a report on the update?
But then we won't be able to discuss the report.
And I'll ask you about special. I'm asking you if it's possible to put a report into update.
It's about our interaction.
Then the meeting, as far as I'm concerned, that we are able to debate it at the meeting, and if you want an opportunity for another meeting after, it'll be called later. John's proposal is that we change that date of the 13th of March.
Could you repeat that, please? Sorry, if you
I suggest you put in your reports, it is considered by whoever councillors are here on the 13th. If you're not happy after that, Jill, then you'll have to call another meeting.
Well, we will. We will because we can't be there.
If you're not happy with decisions made by a majority of this council, then you took the next, you carry on. John, your proposal is.
Excuse me, I am happy with decisions made by the majority of the council, but you've got to be able to put your
report
discussion forward. No, because we won't be able to put the.
I can tell you now that our extraordinary meeting, reports will be read out. It won't be open for debate. Okay, there'll be reports read out. I can tell you that now.
A report read out.
Reports will be read out. Okay. Reports from anyone who gives me a report will be read out at that meeting. It is not here for debate. It is here for information and to answer the questions that your 5 councillors requested. John.
Okay, not that I need to, Councillor Shearbeer, but I have a long-standing work commitment which I am unable to get out of, and it derives me income from that. So hence my unavailability. I don't need to be invited to know where the door is either. Thank you very much indeed. And I thought that was out of order. So moving on.
Well, hang on, mate.
Moving on.
Hang on, calm down.
He just made an accusation.
Bob, I'm knocking this on the table to stop you all talking, not just one of you, all of you, okay? There is a proposal at the moment from John, and it's been seconded, that the date of the 13th of March be moved. Okay, that proposal needs voted on. Do you need to speak before we do that?
If I may, Chair. One of the implications of moving the meeting again is will impact upon my probation. Please be aware of employment law when you consider that, councillors.
Proposal is then, once again, John, if you'd like to see a proposal.
To advise us of a different date, move the date.
You want the 13th of March to be cancelled, and you're suggesting that we then go for another date. That's your
Please.
proposal, yeah? That was seconded.
Yeah.
Can you just show of hands now then, please? Is that a yes from Kempson? Kempson?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't think you need to, I don't think you need to count.
No.
And against.
Okay.
Wow.
Very much.
Shocking.
At this point, then we, sorry?
What was the result of that vote?
Oh.
Oh, God, get a grip.
11-5.
A bit quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, right.
Okay, exclusion of press and public at this time, which we haven't got any business in that, but we would like to just touch on the subject of the members' report, the Form 10 thing. If everyone's happy to stay for a few minutes. You happy to stay for that?
If anyone wants to stay, I'll run through it outside of the business of the meeting, so the business flows.
If you'd like to.
I've had a couple of people, so I can put it on the screen and quickly show you how easy it is to do.
Okay.
That's if Lucy would
Matt.
kindly. Yeah.
That's fine.
Don't mind, Mr. Smith. Obviously, some of us have noticed that there's been a change in the way we put a member's item in. I've had a look at that form myself. I said to Matt, could you explain it to me and all of us? Because there is a change in how we used to do it. A lot of it used to be handwritten, if you remember, donate for form. That obviously means that some of our handwriting isn't as clear as it might be. So this was put forward, but Matt's going to talk us through if you're happy to stay for that. Yeah, otherwise, the meeting is closed tomorrow.
Minutes from the 50th anniversary committee.
Oh,
No, I asked, but they said that they had it dealt with, so.
yeah, sorry, that was actually under, you remember,
It was a project, Vivian.
yeah, it was under the payment authorization report, and it was just to make sure that we can pay for the actual written stuff is covered. It was just to make sure that the payment for the plaque goes through.
Yeah.
Plaque is what we're getting on to.
I think also, one of the proposal, well, that's 50th anniversary, yeah. I just let people know, what came at that committee as well, is that we hope to time the burying of the time capsule with the official opening of the community orchard. So that might well be any time up until, I believe, May, is that correct?
I think we said 8th of May, didn't we?
Yeah.
When is the date
No.
at the end of the community garden spend?
I've got to spend it by the end of June, but I'd like it done by the end of May if we can.
So,
So
Maybe.
possibly the 9th of May?
yeah, right. So we're not, I don't think we actually fixed the date, but
No,
we'll be.
Yeah.
we haven't. I'm
We will, time it with that.
yeah, sorry, Peter, yeah, I'm just
Okay,
working around
that's-
end of year, but I'm
no,
working on the
Yeah,
garden, so.
that's great. I'm really happy with that. Are we going to look at the E-Day situation with the report from the anniversary committee that is sort of.
Not here, Peter, no, sorry.
Okay, all right. Just sort of kind of getting on.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to give an update on placemaking, maybe, people, because that's not on, that's an outside body that we, there's not on it.
Suggestion for next council, yeah?
Well, people in
Yeah.
where they're at, or no.
It's not on the agenda.
I know I need time to be behind, Rob here, but, can I just read the.
Sorry, Wyndham, yeah, go to.
Very, very quickly. With the still room in the time capsule for additional information, and if people have got anything of interest, then please let Peter have it and we'll put it in the time capsule.
Thank you. Yeah, lots of work to put in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. That's the end of the meeting. And then if you happen to stay in, just talk through the template, that would be useful. Okay.
Yes.
So, do we need to ask any for public meeting?
No, they can see.
If you're happy to stay,